What's good, YouTube? It's your boy KI Double D's here in the building. I am bringing to you my very first Destiny's Child video, and in the video it's just going to be a kind of explain / how to Ragna break video, explaining things that you probably should know or should have learned already if you haven't figured it out. But hey, you know, we all learn new things every day. So let's get started. So first things first, when you go into your Ragna break, the first thing that should actually pop up is your Slayers list. Now inside your Slayers list, you should have multiple different versions of Cleo, aka short brown thickness, ranging from level 1 all the way to level 40. All the raid bosses that you currently see inside the Slayers list at the moment, it should be all of the raid bosses that your friends have summoned. And when you start summoning your raid boss, this is where she's gonna actually pop up as well. So there's multiple ways to go about summoning a raid boss. One of many is to basically use the repeat function on any of the story missions for either the Ragna break or the regular story, and on that repeat option select raid discovery, so you can just have your team sitting there constantly fighting or leveling up, getting XP, or farming items, or farming like low level tier childs for crystals. You'll eventually get a pop-up window that tells you that you've discovered a raid boss and you can start raiding. So that's the first way to summon a raid boss. The second way is a lot more simpler. You're going to want to go into the raid shop tab, and in the raid shop tab in the bottom left hand corner there should be a raid summon ticket. You only get 5 of those per day, so that's kind of why I told you the other way to do it first, because that's the main way you're going to actually be summoning multiple raids per day, since the limit is up to 5. Alright, now with that part of the explanation out of the way, I would just tell you now, start raiding. And when you start raiding now, there should also be 2 new buttons that pop up at the top of your Slayers list menu. One is call and the other one is support. If I'm right, support tells your friends list to come and help you with your raid boss, and call calls Slayer raiders to come and help you with your raid boss.
So Slayer raids is something that you don't really have to worry about that much until your personal raid boss, which is level 40. But once she does, you're just going to hit the Slayer raid button at the top, and it's going to take you to the Slayer menu. And in the Slayer menu, there'll be 3 different raid bosses from around the world that you can also help fight. And when you do fight them, at the bottom you'll see something called the Slayer count. And at the Slayer count, you use the Slayer raids to up the Slayer count to get free chests, basically. As normally while you're raiding, after you're done with the raid, you'll get a chest. In the Slayer raids, you just do a certain amount of Slayer raids and you'll automatically get a chest. And the chests don't appear inside your mailbox. They stay right there at the bottom in your Slayer count. You just click on the chest once it's lit up. That's how you know how many chests you've already unlocked. When you click on them, they'll open right then and there to give you your rewards. And on top of that, since there's only 4 there at the bottom, that's the only 4 you get per day. It resets, so every single day while you're doing your Slayers raids, it'll automatically just count up. You don't have to go in there and check to see how many you have to do left. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. So there's still a little bit more that I can say about the Slayer raids, but I'm gonna hold off until I get to the Slayer rank, because it's all gonna be about that base. So the next thing I'm gonna talk about is the booster. So a booster basically does 3 things. You get 10 boosts per day that you can use on a raid boss, and it's going to triple the amount of Ragna coins that you get per raid boss. And then when you do use a booster on a boss, if you do not defeat that raid boss, the booster will still stay on it. So then you can call for your friends list to help you, or the Ragna Slayers to come and help, and they will also get a boost on helping you. If I am correct, I think I am. But I mean, it's happened to me. I've seen it a few times where you can go down your own friends list and you'll see on the raid boss itself, it'll say booster on in the bottom left hand corner of the little tab that says the raid boss's name, basically. Alright, so the last thing to talk about on the raids list page is your tickets. Your tickets is the numbers between your Ragna booster and the change order. It should say 10 out of 10 if you're just starting, and that is going to go down for every raid boss you either interact with or that you summon. So it doesn't matter whose boss you're fighting, you will lose a raid ticket if you engage in a fight with that raid raid boss. You can refresh your raid tickets every single day if you want to. I think up to 10 times per day, but it costs jewels to do it, and 1,000 jewels, which is something I wouldn't recommend you do. I have done it, so I can't really tell you what to do with your jewels because it's your jewels. But I would say you can do it, but do it sparsely. Don't go super ham and spending like 3,000 jewels just to reset 3 times, because you do get 10 resets every day. So I would say save your jewels for right now. You can do a reset, but don't go crazy. Alright, so on to the next tab, which is your raid story. Your raid story is just gonna go through why Cleo popped up and Bassette's here and why Horus is here. It's a funny little story. I do recommend going through it and actually, reading through it. Seeing what they have to say is pretty funny, but the main reason I would say that you should definitely go through it is you get 100,000 coins. You'd get a 4/5-star summoning ticket, which for me just really reads as 4-star summoning ticket. I've never gotten a 5-star out of it, and you get 1,000 free jewels. You can never get enough jewels in a gacha game. Okay, so next we're moving on to the raid shop. Now in the raid shop there's a lot of different things to talk about, but I'm just gonna work my way down. So right below Brownie's face, and Brownie's the character floating inside the raid shop, if you don't know that, there should be your rewards and resets. Right there it should show you, you should see a number that says, well, numbers that say 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and you will be able to get each and every single one of those rewards by clearing the first row of all the rewards. And the way you clear those rewards is by using Ragna coins, which is the coins that you should have been getting this whole entire time from clearing raid after raid after raid after raid, and so on. So the way you'll get each reward is by resetting that top row. So you're going to clear the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd reward, and you'll automatically get the last reward for free. And once you're done doing that, you'll just pay 100 crystals and it'll reset that whole entire board, with the 2nd reward that's floating below Brownie will pop up in the last column of the 1st row. So basically you're going to do that over and over and over until you get to the 5th reward, and after the 5th reward you'll be able to get a 2nd copy of Cleo, you'll be able to get the raid boss skin for her as well, and another copy of Horus, as well as a platinum chest. Now as you progress, the amount of Ragna coins that you spend will constantly increase, and so you can just basically either save up to just buy that whole entire row at one time, or you can just put Ragna coins in every so often when you reach your goal point. Next, the row below that isn't really that important. There's actually like the last 3 rewards in there I kind of would just avoid. The only one I would say that's really of importance is your raid summon ticket, because you'll be using 5 of those every single day. Raid reset, I personally haven't reset it. I haven't seen a point to reset it. If there is, please in the comment description below let me know what's the point of resetting the raid, because I haven't. All I've seen is that it just takes your level 40 Cleo back to like a level 1 Bass, and there's actually like no reason for you to do that as far as I know. And well, that's kind of basically it with the raid shop. If you do want any more information about the raid shop, there should be a little info box inside the raid shop itself that can explain anything, and if it isn't there, you can just leave a comment in the comment section below and I should be able to get back to you about that. So next is the Ragna missions, and your Ragna missions is something that you should be able to accomplish just straight up by doing everything that I've said before, just raiding basically. You get everything just from raiding or from summoning your raid boss, so there's not really much to say on your Ragna missions. So next is your Ragna rank, and your Ragna rank is kind of important, not so really, unless like you're doing like crazy amounts of damage to like raid bosses. In the notice in the top right hand corner, you click the question mark and it'll tell you what it is, but in like the first few lines kind of overall explain what the whole point of it is. It says Ragna rankings are determined by the amount of damage dealt to a level 40 raid boss in a single battle, and then you can kind of read the rest of it. I don't really feel like reading the entire thing, but in a sense, if you're doing a lot of damage, you get chances to get some really good rewards. Between level 50 and 100 rank, you get a 5-star summon ticket and 4,000 crystals. 11 to 50, another 5-star summoning ticket with 6,000 crystals, and you get a free copy of Sun Cleo. the costume, well, the raid boss costume for Cleo. 2 to 10 rank, you get a 5-star Cleopatra with 8,000 crystals and the costume. And then if you happen to be like the lucky person in the world and get the number 1 rank, you get 2 free copies of Cleopatra for the number 1 rank, 10,000 crystals, and her free costume. And I know I kind of like jumbled that up. You can just kind of click the reward section at the top of it to find out exactly what it is. Now the next thing is your Slayer rank, and your Slayer rank is something that I believe anybody can kind of get into. Your Ragna rank is something that you kind of have to have like +4 characters or +5 characters to do that, and some people that maybe watch this aren't even there yet to, or don't even have like a level 60 character yet. So I wouldn't say don't worry about that one too much. Do it what you can control. I feel like no matter where you are, you can potentially control your Slayer rank, because you don't actually have to kill a raid boss in the Slayer raids. You just kind of have to put damage onto them, and putting your damage onto them, even if it's not a lot, does add up, and it could put you in between, anywhere between the 1000% to top 10%, you know. And I wouldn't say you like to stress either of those 2 ranks, because all the people at the top of those ranks or that are near the top of it have like forced child. Like half of them are either like +4 or +6. So just have fun, you know, with the raids. Don't stress too much unless you're trying to be ultra competitive. And I mean, you don't even gotta like pay to win in this game, in all honesty. I feel like I do pretty decent in both PvP and most of these events that pop up, and I'm basically free to play. I've only paid maybe like once or like twice to just get like an extra 1,000 jewels to do that extra summon that you feel like you might get 5-star you're chasing and you just don't. But hey, that's me. I wouldn't recommend doing that. But with all that being said, that is kind of the end of my Ragna break explanation. If you guys have any questions or want to ask me anything, leave a comment below and I'll definitely will get back to you on those comments. And if you have any specific questions about Destiny's Child, I will say to definitely check out the Destiny Child Global on Discord, because they have a lot of people on there that are all friendly. They have guides, they have fan art, they have all types of stuff. It's pretty cool. I definitely would suggest to join, and you can also hit me up on there. I'll leave a link in the description. Alright guys, peace.